the clairvoyance of being press is limited, and so we rely on press releases. Today is a bit of a slow news day. There's not really anything of major importance going on. There's not any major news releases, any major things happening, any major announcements. There's a couple of hints and things, and that's really it. There's nothing really that major going on at the moment, so today's going to be a bit of a hodgepodge. And the first story that we're going to talk about today is that the NES Classic Edition has been discontinued. Not entirely sure why. It's something that was extremely popular for Nintendo. Nintendo is a brand that is built on its previous stuff, mostly the NES and the SNES, so having them cancel this is an odd move, and it certainly seems that the NES Classic was never meant to be a permanent thing, with a quote to IGN saying, "The NES Classic wasn't intended to be an ongoing long-term product, however, due to high demand we did add extra shipments to our original plans." So it was never really intended to be a merchandising product from Nintendo. Although there are a couple of people who have noticed a couple of the subtleties with what's been going on with the NES Classic, one of them being Boogie, who said, after people discovered how easy it was to hack the NES Classic and add ROMs, it's no surprise Nintendo stopped making them. And with that, I kind of agree. Nintendo has always been extremely protective of its IP and its games, even it's the entire reason why things like the NES Classic exist. So with the NES Classic being very hackable, to use a phrase, then it's kind of understandable they're going, yeah, we're going to get rid of this as planned and not look back, or just scrap it entirely and come up with something else that is less hackable, or just do the entire thing digitally. Staying with Nintendo and its old franchises, Hey Pikmin has a release date, and it is July 28th. Hey Pikmin isn't the same as the other previous Pikmin games. The previous Pikmin games have been 3D strategy, puzzle, adventure things. This is a 2D side-scroller. It was first announced in one of Nintendo's Nintendo Direct live streams back in September, and it's very much part of Nintendo's capitalizing on its previous IPs. And with other big company news, Bandai Namco has teased a new project, purely with the phrase "PrepareToDine." The astute viewers would know that Bandai Namco are the publishing company behind things like Dark Souls, and the Dark Souls tagline was "Prepare to Die." So Prepare to Dine, it's either going to be some sort of pun or play-off for it, or, considering the visual style of the artistic trailer that they have, it's probably going to be a game that is in lieu of the Dark Souls series. Here is that short teaser trailer. There is very little information out at the moment, but the release did come with a little line saying due to be announced on April 20th. So next Thursday, there's probably going to be a formal release or a formal announcement of the game coming out, which seems Dark Soulsian in a manner. Very little information on it, but I'm very intrigued by the trailer because it looks like a mix of Dark Souls, Death Note, and Attack on Titan, which is an interesting combo. And here is a press release that got sent to us, and it says that Endless Space 2 will be leaving early access on May 19th, and in celebration of that, the original Endless Space is being sold at $1, and that includes DLC. If you already have the game, you'll get the DLC for free if you haven't already purchased it. I've always been relatively fascinated by this game because it's got a very interesting style, and it's a style that I very much like. I've been playing a lot of strategy games recently, so I've been trying to delve into getting into this one. As they say here, Endless Space 2 is a turn-based space strategy game that expands through the endless universe, putting players in a fascinating role of leader, guiding a civilization in its making its first steps into the cold depths of interstellar space. Play through 8 factions alone or against your friends. And I've been playing a lot of those games recently, not with any humans, which is a bit of a disadvantage. Playing some of the older Civilization games is always much better to play with actually other humans rather than the AI. On the topic of old games, we have a game that is basically living off an old meme. Chuck Norris launches Chuck Challenge to mark imminent launch of new mobile game. I have no idea really what to think of this. As they say here, Chuck Norris has announced a competition that will enable fans to have the opportunity to create their own Chuck Norris facts and have them included in the final version of his new game, Non-Stop Chuck Norris. In announcing the competition, Chuck Norris also confirmed that the full game will be available for download for iOS and Android devices from next Thursday, April 20th. So it is a game that uses Chuck Norris as its leading character. Okay, fair enough. It's probably the same as, well, you can't really complain when you have people like Schwarzenegger advertising things like war app games and things. It's not necessarily that surprising. But then when you have part of the advertising campaign is Chuck Norris facts, that's a dated meme. That's from, God, it feels like 2005 all over again. Remember when Chuck Norris was a meme and Chuck Norris facts came a whole thing? Remember when that stopped being a thing? To each its own. I'm not going to really complain about using a dated meme. There are people still out there who unabashedly use dated memes. And this is a story that probably everyone already knows about. I knew about this on YouTube before even the press release was even released. The press release was only released on the 12th, so 2 days ago. And I knew about this like a week ago, so this is just a confirmation about the Overwatch uprising, of the event going all the way along till May 1st, special loot boxes, special loot things. It's basically just confirmation of the leaks more than anything else. This has been public knowledge for well over a week. I've known about it well over a week. It's been all over YouTube since Monday. The press release only came out 2 days ago, only came out Wednesday. And that's it for the news. As I said, it's a slow news week. There is nothing going on of any great importance. There's no major things happening. There's really is nothing going on. It's a slow news day. There's not that much going on. I think it's because there's this preparation for the early parts of the conference season. Because we're heading towards May, and May is the beginning of the conference season, with the first one, for me, being MCM in London. I am hoping to be there. I'm still working out the logistics, but I am probably going to be there. I've been there every single time for 3 years, so it would be out of the ordinary if I wasn't able to go there this year. And so, if you liked the tidbits of news that was in this episode, then consider sharing the video or liking it and subscribing for more Precious episodes. We have new episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays, usually longer and have more chunkier stories than the selection that was there this time. And so I will see you on Tuesday for the next Press Rush.